Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here again. I'm going to be channeling your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides like always. So let's find out what they have for you today. Okay, so the back of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. So what I'm hearing is that a lot of abundance is coming in. Something I also heard while I was getting ready was that this has a lot to do with past lives. So if you have recently had past life memories come back, or you had images in your head, maybe you've never really dabbled in past life stuff before, this it's kind of like a flickering moment that is shown to you. Well, this is how I experience it. It's like a flickering moment. It usually comes in between the space where I'm awake and asleep, so that state in the middle. And it'll be like very sensory. You could see a lot of things, or you could feel a lot of things. Usually with these kind of flashbacks, I usually try to remember all the sensory details of it and the important characters that I see, the setting. Am I hearing something? Am I feeling something? Am I with someone? Where am I? What am I wearing? You know, all those things. That can help a lot with clues as to where in your past life you've been. I've had 2 past lives come out for me through just my own regression, through my past regression. It's something that has really linked with the partners I've had. And so my first partner, I had a very big past life connected to Egypt. And so now that I am no longer with that partner, I feel like I've worked through all of the past life stuff there. Had a lot to do with, you know, every past life has their own theme, because, you know, it's like a life where you're making like a certain decision over and over again that, you know, that could become quite detrimental to you, or it could be good for you. You know, you just never know why it comes up. But for you guys, it seems like your past life has come up, okay? And maybe you don't even realize it's your past life because it felt very real for a second, but you might have thought it was a dream or something not related to reality, right? But I'm here to tell you, your spirit guides are here to tell you, no, that's your past life. What you're feeling right now is heavily tied to a situation you're in. This could possibly be a situation that began in another life but was promised to be finished in this life, right? And so those things do occur. You know, that's why a lot of us feel fated to meet, as if we've known each other for a really long time, because chances are, you know, we have known each other for a really long time, and through many lifetimes, right? It's not just one. We can promise to see each other in every lifetime. You know, for all of my lover girls and lover boys out there, you know, you might have promised your lover in every lifetime that you will find them again. And yeah, and so I think a lot of the twin flames that are currently happening right now, that are more on the karmic, like the more negative karma. I wouldn't say it's negative karma, but it feels negative, right? And so people that are going through that twin flame journey that has more of that runner chaser dynamic, it's because one isn't remembering the past life while the other one is. And, you know, like, or it could just be that feeling of like, no, I promised I'd meet you in this life, like, please let me meet you. kind of thing. And the other one's like, I don't know you like that. Who are you? And, you know, so, and then someone has an awakening, and then they remember, and then, you know, I feel like that's a lot of what the twin flame dynamic is heading towards right now, even though we're very much stuck in, actually, no, I feel like a couple years ago, a lot of twin flames met and they were doing that negative runner chaser thing, but now it's cooled down. Now the twin flames are realizing where their hearts belong, where they feel like they belong, and they're heading towards that now. And so it's beautiful. I love it. Yes. Okay, let's get into the reading because I've had the cards pulled out for a while. I just felt like I needed to tell that to somebody. Okay. Oh, interesting. I have like lyric cards, and I didn't realize that one was just like sitting right there, but I guess I can read it to you. Maybe it's important. Focus, John Summit. A picture tells 1,000 words, but I can't seem to read what's on your mind. The silence is the loudest voice. It's screaming at me, laying by your side. How do we get so lost in this room? Watching you turn into someone I never knew. I remember love, but it's slipping out of view. If we focus on this moment, bring the fragments of our darkness into light. So won't you pull my love into focus? Okay, yeah. What I was just talking about. Yeah, I think twin flames are finally realizing like, hey, let's meet ourselves together. Let's not run anymore. Let's bring those pieces of ourselves that are hiding into the light. Let's just kind of like air out everything so that we can pull our love into focus. Maybe there's been so much drama surrounding you and your twin flame that things just haven't been able to work out because you can't focus on each other because of all the drama going around, what people have to say, how people feel about things, you know, all the things that don't really matter in a relationship, but we feel like it does, and it causes like conflict internally when we allow it into ourselves. And so, yeah, it's just saying like, so won't you pull my love, pull my love, pull my love into focus. Yeah, cute. Okay, on to the tarot. Six of Pentacles in reverse. It's showing me that there's something that you don't want to share. There's something that in the physical that you're not ready to share. And it's not because you're stingy or because you don't want to. It's because you're finally no longer distracted. And with Pentacles, it's like very physical things. You were giving out a lot of yourself physically, and now you're calling it all back in because you realize like Spirit is calling you, right? With this card, usually like it's saying that you're so distracted by what's going on that you can't see that Spirit is trying to give you something. It was in reverse. So you're realizing Spirit is giving you something here, and you're focusing on it now. You're realizing that, okay, I really need to gain clarity in this situation. Something needs to change. Something needs to alchemize with the Magician and the Ace of Swords. It's showing that, you know, we need to figure this out because something needs to change. This cannot be like this anymore. And yeah, I guess this is a very heavy twin flame reading. So if you're not interested in that, like, I'm sorry. But I gave you that little blip of a past life thing. So maybe that was the message you just needed. And with the Hermit in reverse, it's coming to say, yeah, you're not hiding anymore. Maybe before you were more reserved and you're like, you know what? I don't need to air this out. I can just keep this to myself forever. I don't need to do anything about it because I don't need this situation to die. I don't need it to change. I don't need it to transform. I can just keep it the way it is. But, you know, I think you got sick of that. I think your feelings started eating you from the inside out. And so now you're like, okay, I can't hide this anymore. I have to say something. If I don't say something, I feel like I'm going to regret it. So it seems like there's a bit of like a high energy to it where it feels very like, very fire sign. Like, let's go, you know? And so that's how you're feeling about your current situation. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. What guidance can the viewers receive at this time? Okay, let's see. So, ruminating over it will do you no good. Okay, at this time, you know, introspection is always a good tool, but at this moment, it could lead to a lot of ants in the mind, like we talked about last time, right? It's about you projecting your own insecurities onto the person if you ruminate on it for too long. So try to, you know, just relax. Don't think about what they might be thinking. Think about how you're feeling. Think about what you can do in this situation, not so much the other person. Because I feel like the denser feeling when it comes to twin flames, it's due to a lot of projections, right? I think twin flames bring out like a certain insecurity in each other. And when that is triggered, we instantly start projecting our insecurities onto the other person, right? So everything that like we might have, like, let's just use pretty for an example. Like, let's say you met your twin flame, they're beautiful, and you guys met in a really unorthodox way. Well, maybe you're more prone to like, oh, well, they're so pretty. They must have a whole line of people. They must be testing out the waters. They just went through this, so they must be going through that. See, that they must be, that's a projection. That's your own thought. You're putting it onto them. And so at this moment, it's really important that you stay more focused on you. You keep your energy about you, because you don't want to, the last thing your partner needs is someone projecting onto them. Because if this is like, if my example is actually what's happening, imagine how many people assume that about that person when that may not even be true. And if you believe in God, if you believe, whatever your belief is, if that higher power brought you two together, why would you act like everybody else? Why would you assume the same things everyone else does? You know, like, look a little deeper, think of it a little deeper, and don't try to ruminate on what they are and what they're not doing and who they are and who they're not. It's be curious about them. It's like, oh my gosh, higher power led me to you. Let me learn about you. Let me just be in your energy. Let me just be with you. Let me learn. Let me see who you are as a person, because I feel something deep inside of me that I see in you. Right? And so maybe that's how you're feeling, collective. Maybe that's something that you really want to say, where it's like, I am so curious about you, like to your partner. This is how you might be feeling, where it's like, I am so insanely curious about who you are as a person and why the higher powers of this universe brought us together. There's so many people in the world. Why are you the one that I feel this intensity with? Right? And it might not be romantic. Sometimes twin flames are like business partners. And sometimes they're here to create something in this world, because that is true. Twin flames come into this earth to not only awaken each other. And the way they do this is by inciting all those insecurities, right? To make both parties look at themselves. And once that's done and they unite, the goal of the twin flame is to birth a creative project, something that they both came here to create together, right? So, you know, once you're past that runner or chaser, there is something much more beautiful brewing in the background, other than just obtaining that partner, right? So maybe right now you're feeling that burning intensity that comes with twin flames kind of separating after being in each other's energy for a bit, because that can happen. Twin flames, like, that's why a lot of people stay away from it, because it does mirror like a very toxic dynamic, but the underlying drive for the separation is to grow, is to heal, is to move past what is currently stagnating, right? Which is inherently good, which is it's very spiritual in nature, right? It's very spiritual in nature. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say about that right now. With the Page of Cups in reverse, yeah, there's no curiosity about this person. Maybe that's what Spirit's trying to tell you. Like, be more curious about them. Actually, like, instead of like asking how they make you feel in this moment, just be curious about the person that is kind of making you feel all these things. It's not why, or it's like, oh, they're doing this because of this. It's like, oh, why does your presence make me feel all these things? And journal about it. Talk about it with your therapist. I don't know what you do to come to your own conclusions, but come to your own conclusions about it first. See how you feel. Just get curious as to why they're in your life, right? Don't get mad. Don't be upset that they're not with you when you want it, right? Because you can't control people like that. That's not the purpose of the connection. It's not to make you feel like you're losing everything because they're not in your life. In reality, it's you coming closer to yourself when they're away, and then when they're with you, you come even closer to yourself, because now you're being completely reflected and you're seeing every part of you for what it is. And that's why healing is so important, because without that healing, we're going to get triggered. Every time you meet your twin flame, every time you see them, you're going to get so triggered because you're seeing your insecurities first, right? And all it is just for you to grow, for you to gain a new perspective about yourself, right? And about your partner, about your twin flame. Yeah, you're laying it to rest now with the Hanged Man. You're laying all these perceptions, all these fears to rest. You're realizing that you've just been in your head. Really crying over things. You know, you might not be crying, but the card, he's totally crying. So that's why I'm saying that. You might be really distraught over what has been lost. Let's say it's your twin flame. Maybe they've gone into another connection now, or you're just separated from them, or they just aren't connected to you anymore in some way. And you're feeling that loss. You're feeling that loss because their energy has always been there around you. And now they've called their energy back, and you're feeling it, right? Know that you're laying that feeling to rest now. Know that those feelings will be coming to a halt, because you're going to finally rest and just not take things so personally. And that's something I learned in my journey. I could not take anything personally because what they were doing was just what they were doing. You know, I can't control that. And if they didn't want to be with someone like me, then that's okay, right? Like, we can meet people with a very spiritual connection underlining it, but if they're not awakened, if they're not aware of what the energy is, then they're going to act however they want to act. And it doesn't matter if the universe sends signs that, you know, you're the one for them. If they don't want to accept that, they won't. And that's why you can't take things personally, because it's not really about you. It's about what they're willing to open up to versus not. You just happen to be tied in with something like that. Yeah, people that aren't awakened might feel like it was love at first sight. They're my perfect person. I know when I met my twin, I was like, that's my person. That's my person. And, but we didn't hit it off. So, hey, sometimes it happens like that, right? And I'm not trying to negate what is happening for other twin flames just because my journey is a little bit more internal. My twin flame journey has been about, because my physical divine masculine wasn't there with me, chose not to be there with me, I decided that I would focus on my own divine masculine energy, because we all have our feminine and our masculine, right? And those are just like Western terms. But if that is very confusing, just understand that there's like an action-oriented side, and then there's a more restful, allowing side, right? And so we're balancing out those energies. And maybe that's something for you too, collective. If your twin flame isn't showing up for you, the best thing you can do for yourself is to focus on you. Is to allow them to be who they are, what they want to do with their life, because it doesn't have anything to do with the physical person. It has everything to do with the energy that they hold. Okay? So if you are a divine masculine, if you identify a lot with masculine energy and you have mastered that side, start mastering the other side. Don't wait for your twin. Balance out your own energy. Become whole in yourself. And that way, whether the twin comes in or not, it's okay. Because you have it for yourself now. And that's what I've been talking about in my other readings, even though I haven't been like outwardly saying twin flame energy. There's a balancing out that is happening internally inside of you, collective. And it's you releasing this tug and pull feeling, this chasing and like having to chase and release. All of that is coming to a close because you are now focusing on you. You have, maybe some of you have been focusing on both sides of yourself, the divine masculine and the divine feminine side of you. And so now, having both sides balanced out, you're going to be able to move ahead and start doing projects on your own. And it's going to be amazing. And you're going to be experiencing a lot of growth, a lot of freedom, a lot of blessings. Because Spirit sees what you've done. Spirit knows. They know everything. The universe sees everything, right? God sees everything. And so, sorry, that was really intense. But know that, Spirit has seen it all. You don't need to outline everything you've gone through because they've been with you while you've been going through that. And they are incredibly touched by your resilience. They are motivated by you. You motivate your spirit guides to do more for you, believe it or not. They love that you commune with them. They love that you speak with them every day. They love that, you know, it's not just times where you need their help that you're talking to them. You're talking to them just to give gratitude. You're talking to them just to build that relationship with them. And they are so incredibly happy that they have been able to create such a deep connection with you, even though you're distanced by a plane of existence, right? I feel like a lot of collective, I feel like a lot of your guides are straight from the 7th dimension, which is crazy because that's like it's the universe seeing itself. It's the full mirror effect of not just a personal but a depersonalized form of the universe looking at itself in the mirror and seeing everything. What could be, what was, what will be, everything is on one tapestry and it's seen for what it is. Everything is finished. Everything is done in that plane of existence, the 7th dimension. So you having your guides, I don't know if you're a channeler yourself, but to be in this kind of energy, you do have some kind of practice. And so whatever practice you're doing, the guides that are with you, they give you information straight from the 7th dimension. They are giving you exact information regarding what was, what will be, and what just is, what is. You know, it is. And so know that you are definitely being guided in the right place. Don't feel like you're stuck in this state, okay? Spirit guides really don't want you to feel like you're being mocked. Are you feeling like people are treating you badly because of what you believe? Are you feeling like just the weight of the world at this moment? If so, it's okay, because Spirit is saying, give it to us. Literally, like, grab that stress and give it to them. I'm sorry, my robot is like coming over here. It's so loud. Okay. That was a very long reading, wasn't it? But let's pull out some starseed oracles, because this has been a very esoteric kind of reading. So I love those kind of topics. Let's pull out some last messages for you. You guys got big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. And just know when you're connecting with me, you're connecting with Pleiades energy very, very strong, because that's what I work with the most. And I remember Soul Plan, the Fated Life versus the Destiny Life. Didn't we get these cards last time? That's kind of crazy that it's coming out again. I shuffled and everything, okay? All right. Let's see what's going on this time, though. So big picture thinking. Yeah, with the Hanged Man that we pulled out earlier, you are gaining a completely different perspective on your life, where it's heading, what you're doing. Because you're tapping into the universe's plan, right? We have our plan, and then there's the universe's plan. And then, if we can come to agreement, then we co-create, So you're coming to that place where you're understanding there's a universal plan with you involved in it. You're kind of important. You're kind of a big deal, collective. Like, And Spirit is trying to like get you on board with the plan, because you can do so much positive things in your existence, in this lifetime. You can do so many positive things if you just believe in yourself, if you allow Spirit to walk hand in hand with you, to lead you during this time. Okay, so lean on Spirit. Don't lean on other people. Lean on Spirit. Lean on your faith. Lean on what you believe in that has carried you through this life. Okay, allow yourself to let go of that control. Okay, allow yourself to be led at this time. It's very important because you're a visionary. You have inspired ideas. And these ideas are very important, are very not only helpful to the world, but extremely lucrative for you as well, right? Because in order to live a good life in this existence, money is a thing. It is. Okay, we can't just live and be like, nah, we don't need money. Maybe if you change the way you live, like extremely, but for most people, money is a part of life, and it's still a part of life even when you get into spirituality, because to live a good life is to be fully abundant, right? The 10 of Pentacles comes out. That's generational wealth. That is the tip. That's the apex of wealth, generational wealth, right? And so know that your ideas are extremely, extremely lucrative. Okay. So don't think that you're thinking weird, that judgment that you're facing right now, maybe you shared your ideas and it wasn't like, taken that well. Know that you don't need others to agree. You don't need them to placate you. You don't need them to advocate for you. You don't need them to validate you. You don't need them for anything. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in Spirit, the universe, your guides, whoever you believe in, your angels. Call in your angels to help you at this time. Don't call other people in, because what they're going to do is give you their 2 cents, which isn't even grounded, which isn't even rooted. They did no research on it. They don't know anything about it. They're just going off base of, oh, does that seem like a logical and reasonable thing for someone to say? If not, then they're going to be like, are you on one? So don't deal with that. Just don't. Keep your ideas to yourself until you meet people that highly resonate with that kind of thinking. Be a little selective. Just be a little bit more selective. You don't need to tell everyone your business. And I don't think you do, but I don't think you realize like your circle might not be fully resonating with you right now. Maybe you're stepping out of that resonance of that group, because, when we are in a group of friends or just belonging to a certain group of people, our frequency will start vibrating at theirs, so that there's equilibrium, so that there's a feeling of, hey, we're vibrating at the same level, we're the same, But I think you're stepping away because you have remembered your soul plan with this card. You have come into remembrance of who you are. Maybe it was with this past life memory. You have come to realize that your role in this life is so much more than just the typical. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with the typical. I think a lot of people choose, I think a lot of people are aware of spirituality, but they choose not to be part of it because they would much rather live a normal, typical life, which is fair. What is happening? Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had a phone call. So I remember your last card. Okay, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Yeah, so you're coming back into remembrance of who you are, what you're here to do. And if you've been getting like little flickers of memories, know that more might be coming in, but it's just to fill in the missing pieces. I'm sure you're curious as to what other pieces are in there for you as well. So this is going to be a very fun time for you esoterically. I think like you're going to be kind of experiencing a different side of reality that you might have not really ever felt before. And just know that as you experience these things, it's very important that you stay protected, okay? Because not only is there beauty in, in creation itself, but there's also a bit of darkness. There's a bit of other types of energies. And we've talked about them where it's like evil eye, which is other people sending you, jealousy, hateful words, and you might be able to start picking up on that. Actually, that's a message from Spirit saying that you might start feeling energy from other people because you're starting to deviate from the natural order of this society, right? Of your society. You're deviating. And when that happens, people have a lot to say, not because they want to attack you, but it's because it's in the way they speak about you. They think that they're protecting you. They think that they're like saying like, oh, what are they thinking? How could they go down this path? But know that it's not because they don't want the best for you. It's because they do want the best for you, and they don't understand how you going down the path you're going through is going to lead to what they think you should be going after, right? So you're going against social norm, and when that happens, people throw energy at you, but just know that you can stay protected by having protective stones with you. I have a crystal shop, so you can pick up some protective crystals there, such as black obsidian, tourmaline, black tourmaline, onyx, hematite, things like that, okay? So know that those things are available to you. Also, if you believe in evil eye specifically, you can get bracelets with the eye in it to ward off that kind of energy. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all, collective. I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I definitely talked so much that my throat is raspy, but thank you for being here. If the messages resonated, please give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoy the way I read and enjoy the messages that I end up channeling. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.